All right, good morning. Today is Tuesday, February the 16th. You need to make sure that you have a computer out and that you are logging into Schoology. Log out, log back in. You need to click on your English course. And we're going to do DGP week 13. So we're going to go into Module 4, February the 15th through the 19th. Now, because we want to continue working on an active document, we're going to go back into Monday, February the 15th and click on DGP 13. Open assignment with Cami. And today is Tuesday, so we're going to complete the Tuesday portion of your DGP sentence. Now, I need for you to make sure that you are completing your assignment on Tuesday and not on Wednesday. Make sure that you are completing your assignment on Tuesday and not on Wednesday. Okay, I'm going to start deducting points if you're not paying attention to when you're answering what on what day. Zachary, put that away. All right, so on Tuesday, we have to identify sentence parts, including subject, complete and simple, complete predicate, the verb as transitive or intransitive. You have to find your direct object or indirect object, predicate nominative, predicate adjective, prepositional phrase, the object of the preposition, and you have to determine whether it is an adjective phrase or an adverbial phrase. Okay, also, if we have a positives, we identify it on Tuesday. All right, your sentence is, Muhammad's cousin built a great tree house in his yard. Okay, the first thing I want to do is identify the simple subject and the complete subject and underline that one time. Okay, so who is this sentence about? Muhammad's cousin. So how many times am I going to underline Muhammad's cousin? How many? Once. All right, now, what did Muhammad's cousin do? Build a great tree house in his yard. Okay, so that is the action of the sentence. How many times do we underline the action? Twice. And this is called the predicate of our sentence. Okay, the simple predicate is built, and the complete predicate is built a great tree house in his yard. All right. The next thing I want to do is I want to identify my simple subject. All right, what is my simple subject? Who is the sentence about? It's one word. Cousin, good. So I'm going to write an S above cousin. Now, what did my cousin do? All right, built who or built what? Built what? Treehouse. Okay, so if I can answer who or what after my verb, that means that treehouse is a what? Treehouse is a what? If I can answer who or what after my verb, a what? Say it louder. No, it's right. Say it louder. A direct object. Good. So what is the abbreviation for a direct object? D-O. Good. Now, if I can answer who or what after my verb and I have a direct object, okay, does that make my verb transitive or intransitive? Transitive. Good. What is the abbreviation for a transitive verb? VT. All right. Now, if we have a prepositional phrase in this sentence, we have to put that in parentheses. Do we have a prepositional phrase in this sentence? Yes or no? Yes. All right. What is the prepositional phrase? In his yard. Good. So I'm going to put this in parentheses. Okay. Now, we have to identify our object of the preposition. Okay. The object of the preposition will always be what part of speech? The object of the preposition will always be what part of speech? Will always be a noun or pronoun. Good. Okay, so what is the preposition, or what is the object of the preposition in his yard? What is the object of the preposition of in his yard? Yard. So we're going to write OP above it. Okay. Most often, your object of the preposition is going to be the last word in the prepositional phrase. Now, we have to determine if this prepositional phrase is an adverb phrase or an adjective phrase, okay? Is in his yard describing what the treehouse looks like, or is it telling where the treehouse is? It's telling where the treehouse is, okay? So it's modifying built and or telling us where it was built, okay? Therefore, it is an adverbial prepositional phrase. Scholar? All right, come here. All right, there's one other thing that I need to go back and correct. Yesterday when we were doing parts of speech and I was doing his, I don't know why in the world I told you that his is first person, because we all know that first person deals with I, me, and my. Okay, his is actually a third person pronoun. All right, it is a third person pronoun. So I wanted to correct that and make sure that y'all know that I made a mistake in telling you that. Okay, it is a third person possessive pronoun. Please make sure that you fix that. Third person possessive pronoun. I made a mistake. First person pronouns are I, me, my, okay? Third person is going to be like he, him, they, them, their, okay? 4. All right, and again, I want to go over that the object of the preposition will always be a noun or a pronoun. Your direct object will also always be a noun or a pronoun, okay? Your direct object will always be a noun or a pronoun. Your object of the preposition will always be a noun or a pronoun. The simple subject of your sentence will always be a noun or a pronoun. Third person possessive pronoun. All right. Any questions on DGP for Monday or Tuesday? Bring me your. Yes. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do Wednesday's DGP just because we are going to be out of school on Friday. And that means that we're going to test on our sentence on Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and do Wednesday today. And then tomorrow we'll do Thursday. And then on Thursday, you'll actually take your test. Okay. Today's Tuesday. All right, so on Wednesday, we have to identify each clause as independent or dependent, identify the sentence purpose as declarative, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory, and identify the sentence type as simple, compound, complex, or compound complex. Okay, so Muhammad's cousin built a great tree house in his yard. Now, does this sentence have one subject or two subjects? Does it have one simple subject or two simple subjects? All right, it has one simple subject. Does this sentence have one action verb or two action verbs? One action verb. Does this sentence express a complete thought? All right, yes, it expresses a complete thought. Now, one subject, one verb, and one complete thought gives us what type of sentence? A simple sentence, a compound sentence, a complex sentence, or a compound complex sentence? Simple sentence. All right, it gives us a simple sentence, okay? Now, one simple sentence is what type of clause? Independent clause. And then what is the purpose of this sentence? Is it to ask a question, make a statement, give a command, or to explain something? No, to make a command. All right, if it's saying he did it, huh? That's asking a question. Imperative. It's giving a command? It's telling you to do something? Declarative. It's declarative. It is making a statement. Now, an independent clause can or cannot stand alone. Independent clause can stand alone. What type of clause cannot stand alone? All right, a dependent clause cannot stand alone. A dependent clause would be what we call a fragment. All right, a dependent clause would be what we call a fragment. Okay, now, any questions on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesdays? When you come in tomorrow, you are going to do Thursday and Friday's DGP, and then you're going to submit and turn it in. And then on Thursday, we are going to take your DGP test. What other test are you going to have on Thursday? The vocab test for Old Yeller, chapters 1 through 9, vocabulary. Okay, your vocabulary test for Old Yeller, chapters 1 through 9, is going to be on Thursday. Trey, did you have a question? Go up to where? Huh? Okay. You don't have to turn it in today. You can turn it in on Thursday. If you've already started, that's fine.
Can I go ahead and start that Friday?
No, we're about to move on to something else. All right, any questions? All right, we're going to go ahead and exit out of this. And I want you to go into Module 4, February the 15th through the 19th. And I want you to click on Tuesday, February the 16th. All right, now you see on Tuesday, February the 16th, it should say DGP 13 Tuesday. Go back to Monday's folder and complete the Tuesday portion and submit. Okay, so we've already done this. Now I want you to click on this figurative language slide presentation. Tuesday, February the 16th. Figurative language slide presentation. All right, you can go through it with me on your computer. No, you can just pay attention to what's up here on the board. But this is what I need you to know, okay? Hold on just a second. What I need you to know and what I need for you to understand that is once we go over this PowerPoint, you're going to have an assignment, okay? And you can actually use the notes from Schoology to complete your assignment with. But you need to know how to access this, okay? Brayley. Okay, may have to go in and do something to it. Trey. Okay, I will see what I can do to fix it, okay? But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, go figure. Figurative language, okay? We're going to decide the meaning of the statements and write the meaning on your own paper. So everybody get out a sheet of paper real quick. Get out a sheet of paper and a pencil. All right, that test was a piece of cake. That test was a piece of cake. What does try to give you a piece of paper. And I'm giving you a pencil. Can you give me a piece of paper? I got that. What do we label it like? Just notes, figurative language notes. What are you talking about? On the shelf over there. No, sir. No, sir. You better look in your notebook and get something out. All right, decide the meaning of the statements and write the meaning on your own paper. That test was a piece of cake. Okay, what does this mean to you? Trey. All right, this means that the test was very, very easy, okay? My mom is an angel. My mom is an angel. What does this? You write the meaning of it, okay? My mom is an angel. What do you think that means? That she's nice. Good. She could sing like a bird. She sings good. Okay. All right. Recognizing figurative language. Okay. The opposite of literal language is figurative language. The word literal means that it's real, that it's true, and what you say is what you mean. Okay. Figurative language is the opposite of that. Figurative language is language that means more than what it says on the surface. More than what it says on the surface. It usually gives us a feeling about its subject. Poets use figurative language almost as frequently as literal language. When you read poetry, you must be conscious of the difference. Otherwise, a poem may make no sense at all. Have y'all ever heard the phrase, it's raining cats and dogs? All right, is it literally raining cats and dogs when you see it? No. But what does it mean to you when someone says it's raining cats and dogs? It's raining hard, okay, which is kind of what happened yesterday when we got out of school. It rained really hard, okay? All right, recognizing literal language. I've eaten so much, I feel as if I could literally burst. In this case, the person is not using the word literally in its true meaning. Literal means exact or not exaggerated. By pretending that the statement is not exaggerated, the person stresses how much he has eaten. Now, if you overeat and you feel like you're going to burst wide open, is that still an exaggeration? No. Yes, because you're not going to physically bust. I mean, no, I don't think so. You might throw up, but you're not going to like split your body wide open. All right, literal language is language that means exactly what is said. Most of the time, we use literal language. Okay, most of the time we use literal language. All right, what is figurative language? Whenever you describe something by comparing it with something else, you are using figurative language. Okay, so you are comparing things when you use figurative language. Types of figurative language. Types of figurative language. I want you to write these down on your piece of paper. Imagery. Can anybody tell me what they think the word imagery might mean just by looking at it? Seeing a picture in your head, okay? You're imagining something and you're seeing what it looks like in your head. All right, simile. Yeah, just write the word. Simile. Does anyone in here know what a simile is from? It's like a synonym. Not really a synonym. Can anybody tell me what the function of a simile is? It makes a comparison of two things using two specific words. Does anybody know what those words are? Like and as. Like or as. All right, a metaphor. Metaphor. Okay, it's also making a comparison, but it does not use the words like or as. Do you know who taught the first teachers? All right, the next one is alliteration. And it's dealing with repetition and sounds. Personification is when you give an object human qualities. Automatopoeia. Automatopoeia. Say it with me. Automatopoeia. All right, we're going to get more into all of these. Hyperbole. And an idiom. All right. We're fixing to go over them. All right, imagery. Listen, imagery is language that appeals to the senses. All right, language that appeals to the senses. What are the 5 senses? Sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. You don't have to write them down. I hope you know those. All right, simile is a figure of speech which involves a direct comparison between 2 unlike things, usually with the words like or as. The muscles on his brawny arms are strong as iron bands. All right, what are they comparing? They're comparing his muscles to iron bands. All right, and what word is being used that lets us know that it is a simile? As. All right, so we're comparing muscles to iron bands, and the use of the word as helps us to identify this as a simile. All right, metaphor. A figure of speech which involves an implied comparison between 2 relatively unlike things using a form of be. Now, can somebody in here tell me what a be verb is? Or list the 5. Am, is, are, was, were. Okay? The comparison is not announced by like or as. The road was a ribbon wrapped through the desert. You said where are the be verbs again? Am, is, are, was, and were. Now, you need to know the 5 be verbs, but you should know that from doing DGP. All right, what are we comparing here? Road and a ribbon. Okay, we're comparing a road and a ribbon. And the be verb that is used is was. It does not use like or as. Therefore, this is a metaphor. We're comparing 2 relatively unlike things. Okay, a road is either going to be made out of dirt and concrete, and a ribbon is made out of fabric. Alliteration. Repeated consonant sounds occurring at the beginning of words within words. She was wide-eyed and wondering while she waited for Walter to waken. Now, what letter is repeated in this sentence? W. Okay, so it's all the time making the W sound. All right, consonant sounds. Consonants are the opposite of vowels. Okay, so tell me what vowels are. Can we list those? A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. So every other letter in the alphabet is a consonant. Only consonant sounds are going to deal with alliteration. Okay? Are we good on that? All right. Personification, a figure of speech which gives the qualities of a person to an animal, an object, or an idea. The wind yells while blowing. All right, what object have we given a human characteristic? The wind. Okay, and what human characteristic did we give the wind? The ability to yell. Okay, yell is something that a human would do. Only a living thing can yell. The wind cannot yell. All right, here's y'all's favorite word. Automatopoeia. The use of words that mimic sounds. The use of words that mimic sounds. The firecracker made a loud kaboom. Okay? When a firecracker goes off, you know that it makes a boom, and there is a distinct sound for a boom. Okay? The kaboom mimics what the firecracker actually does. It's a sound that you hear in your head. Okay, automatopoeia. Hyperbole. This is the one that I think we probably use most frequently. In my opinion, we use the most frequently an exaggerated statement used to heighten effect. It is not used to mislead the reader, but to emphasize a point. Okay, what does the word exaggerated mean? Exaggerating is when you make a situation bigger than what it really is. You elaborate on it and you blow it up out of proportion, okay? Not necessarily lied, you just you blow it out of proportion, okay? She said so on several million occasions. Now, do you think somebody is really going to say something a million times? No. But what does it mean by she said so on several million occasions? She said it too many times, okay? So we exaggerated that statement. Idioms. An idiom or idiomatic expression refers to a construction or expression in one language that cannot be matched or directly translated word for word in another language. She has a bee in her bonnet, meaning she is obsessed, cannot be literally translated into another language word for word. Okay? It refers to a construction or expression in one language that cannot be matched or directly translated word for word in another language. Okay, we're going to do an activity real quick, and we're going to work on this all week, and we will do a little bit more. We will do some more activities that are a little bit more fun and engaging with it. Okay, but I needed for you to be able to know what these terms mean to begin with. All right, Brayley. Well, we're fixing to do something else real quick. Okay. All right, I want you to go back to Tuesday, February the 16th. Tuesday, February the 16th, and I want you to click on figurative language, grammar, and punctuation eras. Click on figurative language, grammar, and punctuation eras, and I want you to open assignment with Cami. Now, the first thing I want you to do is put your name on this document. Up at the top, I want you to go to your text box and put your name on this document. All right, today's date is 2/16/21, and you are in second period. Now, the first thing you should always do when you begin an assignment is read the what? The directions, okay? And it says, while reading the following paragraph, underline any examples of figurative language and identify each as an idiom, a simile, a metaphor, personification, automatopoeia, or hyperbole. Also, correct any errors in punctuation or capitalization that you find. Hint, there are 7 missing commas, 3 missing periods, and 6 errors in capitalization. Brayley, come here and let me see it. All right, so if you love to read good books, good books are a dime a dozen. You can find them in your school library, at the public library, in thrift stores, or at garage sales. When I visit a library or bookstore, I am a kid in a candy store. Old Yeller by Fred Gibson is definitely a gem. When I read it, it comes alive in my hands. It comes alive in my hands. It is so good that it makes me want to bang on a drum and announce, I love Old Yeller, and then go out and buy 1,000,000 copies to give to all of my friends. Without a doubt, Old Yeller is as fascinating as an ant trying to carry twice its body weight in food. Old Yeller is as fascinating as an ant trying to carry twice its body weight in food. Now, what I want you to do right now is I want you to go through and make all the changes in capitalization. Go through and make all of the changes in capitalization. Oh, that was what I was going to show you. So I want you to do it like we would do our DGP and underline it 3 times. Okay, so for capitalization, you're going to underline it 3 times, mark it out, and you're going to put a capital letter. Okay? How many does it say that you have? You have 6 eras in capitalization. 6 arrows or eras in capitalization. No, that's just a saying. Please don't tell me you're coming to ask me about the bathroom.
Yeah.
Not right now. I want you to work on the capitalization right now, okay? Now, there are going to be some things that need capitalizing and some things that need to be lowercase. There are some things that need to be capitalized and some things that need to be lowercase. In the second line, where it says you can find them in your school library at the public library, there's one more capitalization error. What is it? Public needs to be what? Lowercase. All right, and I'm going to just go back to my text box here, and I'm going to put a little p because I really don't want to underline this one just because it needs to be lowercase and not capitalized. Okay. Is there a capitalization error in thrift stores or at garage sales?
Yeah, if you got a capitalized I.
Why?
The garage.
There are no capitalization errors here. This is why we do need a comma, but we're going to come back to that, okay? This is why, though, punctuation is important. You have to know when to pause and know when to end. All right? In the next line, when I visit a library or bookstore, I am like a kid in a candy store. Is there capitalization errors here?
No.
Capitalize what?
W. Like when?
All right, we need to capitalize the W. All right. Is there anything else in this line that we need to do? Aubrey, we do need a comma. I'm going to come back to the punctuation. Bookstore, what about it? It does not need to be capitalized. So I'm going to put a little b above bookstore. Okay. When I read, it comes alive in my hands. It is so good that it makes me want to bang on a drum and announce I love Old Yeller. Is there anything that needs correcting on when I read it comes alive in my hands? What does? It?
Yeah, it is a movie. But it's so good that it's a movie.
No, we need a comma there, but that's not the beginning of a sentence. We need to capitalize the W though, because it is the beginning of a sentence. Huh. All right, when I read it, it comes alive in my hands. Oh, now I see what you're saying, Grant. It. Okay, so yes, we do need to capitalize the I in it. 1, 2, 3. All right. It makes me want to bang on a drum and announce I love Old Yeller. Is there anything else here that needs to be capitalized? The what? The I in I love. Good.
What grade can I drop out?
All right, Old Yeller, and then go out and buy 1 million copies to give to all my friends. Without a doubt, Old Yeller is as fascinating as an ant trying to carry twice its body weight in food. All right, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eras in capitalization. Okay, we found 7, and it says that there were only 6, but there's no doubt what we fixed needed fixing.
What's the last one?
Shh. I see what part of the problem is. We've got to do some this right here does not need to be capitalized. Okay, I'm going to show you in just a second. But there's a problem with this it should be a comma, not a period.
That's what I said that was something really wrong with the period.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed you saying that. Okay, it needs to be a comma, not a period. So I'm going to mark that period out. Okay? Grab another one. All right, let's go back to the beginning. If you love to read good books, what needs to go after books? A what? A comma. Good. Okay, if you like to read good books, and what's the symbol that we're supposed to use when we're inserting a shape or a symbol like that? We need to use that upside down arrow. Okay. All right, y'all got it? All right, if you love to read good books, like that. Y'all, I'm so crazy. That is not right.
Why you keep doing this?
I don't know. All right, erase it. Erase it. Because if you love to read good books, but what I'm telling you is that this is a dependent clause here, and normally you would put. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. All right. Okay, so there's nothing in this sentence right now except a period that we need to put at the end, okay? We need to put a period at the end of this sentence. All right, you can find them in your school library. What needs to go after library? Comma, good. At the public library, what needs to go after library here? Nope. A comma, we're listing things. All right, in thrift stores or at garage sales, what needs to go after stores? Comma. All right, and what needs to go after sales? Period there.
After library?
All right, so after library, we're going to put a comma. After library, we're going to put another comma. After stores, we're going to put another comma. And at sales, we're going to put a period. No, a period. Because that is the end of the sentence. When we finish this, we are. Shh. All right. We also need to put in a comma after announce. Okay, we also need to put in a comma after announce. All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to go through and I want you to read this again now that we have punctuated it and capitalized it. If you see something that sounds like it is figurative language to you, I want you to underline it. Okay? I want you to go through and read this, and if you think that something sounds like figurative language, I want you to underline it. So, like a dime a dozen. I want you to underline. And while y'all are going through and reading and underlining, I will let you go to the bathroom. Okay? But make sure that when you get back from the restroom that you are continuing to complete this assignment. All right, so this is what we're going to do, though. We're going to read this, underline what we think is figurative language, and then we're going to go back and check it and go over and actually identify what type of figurative language that you've underlined, what the things that you have underlined. We're going to go back and figure out what type of figurative language those things are, okay?
Lafayette, Elijah, Grass bathroom. Riley, Aubrey, Leah bathroom.
Yeah. I'm not done yet.
Okay. You need to quickly go and quickly come back. Levi, I don't feel like you have done anything with me. Okay, put that up. Please.
Definitely a gym. How many are there?
I am there.
Anyone?
60.
They're trying to pay attention. There's an ant.
Yeah, and that.
The ant on the toilet body. Definitely. Number one was charging. Should I read? I read it because of like in my
Yeah,
hand.
it's like.
Because you have to go to the bathroom.
Turn around, 8 o'clock.
Makes me want to bang on the door with a loud
Grant.
Well, it's gonna highlight the things of the figurative image. More like this. What?
Okay, I want to know what y'all have underlined. A dime a dozen, okay. Bang, good. All right, a dime a dozen is a what? A what? A dime a dozen is what type? That's not what I wanted to click on. A dime a dozen is what type of figurative language? A dime a dozen. Okay, so let's go back and look at it. Imagery is like doing a picture. A simile is making a comparison using like or as. A metaphor is making a comparison using a be verb. Alliteration is repeated sounds, consonant sounds. Personification is giving something human characteristics. Automatopoeia is use of words that mimic sounds. Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement. An idiom or idiomatic expression refers to a construction or expression in one language that cannot be matched or directly translated word for word in another language. Okay, so if you were to go somewhere and say she's a dime a dozen, or that book is a dime a dozen, they're not going to know what that means, okay? And it's going to be hard to translate. It's something that we know what it means in our language. So it is an idiom. All right, idiom. Dime or dozen is an idiom. All right, I am like a kid in a candy store. I'm comparing myself to a kid in a candy store using what word? Like. Okay, so I'm making two relatively different comparisons using the word like. What type of figurative language is this? What type of figurative language? It uses like or as. Is it personification or metaphor? Or simile? All right, simile. All right, Old Yeller by Fred Gibson is definitely a gem. Old Yeller is being compared to a gem. A gem is like a diamond or a stone, okay? And we're using a be verb. What part or what figurative language is being used here? What is being used here? Metaphor. Metaphor. I don't have one right now. You're going to have to wait just a second.
My finger bleeding.
You'll be all right for just a second. When I read it, it comes alive. Okay, we're comparing the book to coming alive. We're giving the book human characteristics. What would be our figurative language here? Personification. All right, it makes me want to bang on a drum and announce I love Old Yeller and then go out and buy 1 billion copies. Bang, okay? It makes the sound. What figure of speech is this? Automatopoeia, good. Onomatopoeia. Automatopoeia. All right, I want to buy 1 million copies to give all of my friends. It is exaggerating, okay? And the figure, y'all need to calm down. The figurative language that is an exaggeration is what? No. Hyperbole. I heard somebody trying to say it. All right. And then the last one is as an ant trying to carry twice its body weight. Ant. We're comparing Old Yeller is as fascinating, is as, we're using as an ant trying to carry twice its body weight. So we're comparing Old Yeller to an ant. It's a simile because we're using like or as. Twice. We've used as twice. All right, listen, when you finish this assignment, When you finish this assignment, you need to turn it in. Elijah, get back in this classroom right now or you're about to get a referral. Turn in.
All the way up. Can I go to the business staff now? All the way up. Can I go?
You can go sit down right now. You're about to be in trouble. Go. 1, 2.
Oh my God.
Here is a Band-Aid. Listen, do not leave this classroom without submitting this work. Do not leave this classroom without submitting this work. When you are finished, you may turn it in, wait for it to export, submit, and then you need to log out. Listen, if you have not finished yesterday's work with Chapter 7 through 9 comprehension questions, the Chapter 7 assignment, the Chapter 8 assignment, and the Chapter 9 assignment, okay, actually from Friday, you need to go back to Friday's folder, not Monday. This work needs to be completed, and if it is not completed, you are going to receive a 0. Okay? That work, we have to get it finished. All right? When you're done, you may leave.
You scroll down.